welcome to Deliciously with Ara. Today I have a very special friend, Rochelle, to join me in making her favorite Korean dish, which is
mandu.
So this is Rochelle.
Hi, hello to all the viewers of Deliciously with my beautiful friend Ara.
So now we're gonna make mandu. Are we ready? So now we're gonna start off by making the mandu wrapper.
Okay, I'm excited to learn this part because I need to learn how to make the wrapper, so when it's not available, easy to make it myself, right?
Of course, it's very easy. First, we need around 3 cups of flour. So here, I'll get the flour. So I'll pour it in. So you mix. Okay. So there's 3 cups of flour, just like an all-purpose flour, and we need 1/2 tablespoon. I know you like salty, right?
Yes, I like food to be very tasty.
Tasty or salty?
Yeah, well, a little bit maybe on the salty side.
Yeah, so mix it up. And then it's actually very easy to make the wrapper itself. And then I'm just gonna add like 1/2 tablespoon of cooking oil, like whatever oil you have.
Just continue mixing.
Yeah, mixing it. And then we're gonna be adding in here 1 egg.
Do I make a well?
Yes, you can. Some people prefer, like, if you want the wrapper to be like really white, you can remove the yolk. But if you're like lazy, like me, you don't want to separate it, you can just add the whole egg. Yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes the egg yolk gives a color of being yellowish on the dough, but it doesn't really make, it's not so obvious later on. So
and just mix?
Yeah, just mix it up. Just fold. And this actually 1/2 cup of boiling water or hot water. We're gonna use like hot water because when we add like hot or warm water, it makes the dough chewier later on. So just fold. And then maybe after around when it becomes like a dough itself, like round, we'll have to rest it for a while. So there.
Just fold it.
Fold it and fold it. It's so fun to cook with a friend because she does all the work for you.
Well, this is a good activity to do with the kids too.
It actually is. So you can.
And mandu is food that even picky eaters will like.
So after you fold it several times, you have to you have to put it on the bowl. You have to rest it for like around an hour or 2. So what you can do is like you can make a lot of them in batches and then just freeze it. So every time you just have to use it, just
But freeze the dough like this or freeze it like already rolled into little.
No.
Freeze like this.
Yeah. And then just roll it whenever you have to cook it. So we'll put this on the freezer. We'll just rest it for like 30 to an hour. So now we're gonna be doing our stuffing while the dough that we've made is now resting on the fridge. We're gonna be making 2 versions of our mandu, the kimchi and the meat. Have you tried the kimchi mandu?
Nope, this is going to be the first time and I'm excited. I love kimchi.
That's why you're gonna be having, so we need actually around 1/2 cup of our kimchi here, or how much amount you have. I always use a uniform cup, so maybe around 2 cups later on when we chop it off. So 2 cups of kimchi, 2 cups of ground pork. The fattier the better. And we have here also 3 leaves of pechay, because when you boil them up, it has this sweet taste later on. And we have here spring onions and chives. So I'm gonna be needing 1 cup each, or 1/2 cup of the spring onion if you don't want like too greeny, like 2 vegetables on your mandu. And we need here 1 tofu, and the favorite of course your favorite also, the Korean vermicelli noodles, the japchae. I've soaked this up in water. I've used around like 1 bundle of my hand, like 80 grams, and we're gonna be boiling this later on. So first of all, we're gonna be chopping off all the ingredients that we have prepared, like 2 to 3 leaves, and then chop it finely. And while she's chopping, I'm gonna be boiling my japchae or my vermicelli noodles. So now my water is boiling. I'm gonna be boiling the vermicelli noodles or the Korean japchae. So maybe around 8 minutes until it's fully cooked. So keep chopping and chopping. And then we boil this probably like until everything becomes transparent.
Do I chop these as well?
Yes, that's the spring onions. I got like like a peso size, until here. So
a small bundle.
Yeah, so probably like 1/2 cup. And if you don't like spring onion, you can really adjust. But spring onions are always a good complement, especially for the pork.
It's very tasty.
It is, and you're very good in chopping actually. I like it that you're cutting all the things for me. And also we've got here chives. Sometimes it's really hard to have an access to chives. So if ever you don't have chives or you don't like chives, you can actually add more spring onion. Right now we're only going to be using half a cup of spring onion because I have 1 cup of chives. But if you don't have so, then for something green, just add more spring onion. So like a cup of it and maybe like a cup of the chives. And then you can just dump everything in here, okay? While I monitor my japchae. So now my noodles are done. I'm going to be putting them up in like water. So there, I'm just gonna cool them up. So there, can you chop them?
Sure.
You know, if you don't have any of the access to like the ingredients that we were using today, you don't have to actually, use them. You can just make your own. Some even add like mushrooms if you like the vegetarian versions.
Yeah.
Instead of pork, you can add mushrooms. So this is like the traditional way that we used to make in the home with our parents. Yeah, so
Just
add them
put
up.
everything in.
So these are roughly like 2 cups of I do like 1-on-1 ratio with the meat and my noodle. The reason why we add the tangmyeon or the Korean japchae noodle, it has this very fun, like it gives you a layer of the texture. It's very funny to bite on it. So there we have. And now we have tofu. Do you like tofu?
Yeah, I love tofu.
But
I love food. So if you ask me anything, I will say yes.
Yeah, tofu is a very healthy food. It's a very healthy ingredient anyway. So here I have put here like a cheesecloth. I'm gonna change my cheesecloth.
So you have to make sure it's very dry.
Yes, because or else our stuffing will be very soggy later on, and it's not good to steam it that way. So get a cheesecloth, put your tofu, and then squeeze. I should have let you do this as well. I'm probably giving you too much work, so I'll do it, but then it's kind of, yeah. So then it's drier, and then we're gonna add it up here in our, yeah. So now because I wanted to do the kimchi mandu as well, I got here around 1/4. Yes.
Okay.
It's easier to use like scissors for kimchi because sometimes it stains your chopping board and then the smell stays.
Yeah.
So
and you also don't want to lose the flavor, right? It'll be all left in your
All,
chopping
yeah,
board.
exactly. So, can you chop them off?
Ooh, Ira, you're loving it that I'm here. I'm doing all the hard work.
You know, like
That's why you asked me to come with you.
for mandu.
Because it's a hard thing to do.
Actually, it's fun. It's just like it's a lot of effort needed. So sometimes you can, when you make once, make like in big batches and store them up in the freezer. And every time you just have to come and make mandu, just like defrost a part of it and then just make. Because it's really hard to make like this every time in a fresh batch all the time.
Or you can make the mandu and have them in the freezer.
Can be.
Yeah.
So now all our ingredients have been chopped off by my very good friend Rochelle. I'm going to be adding on the seasoning. It's very easy. All you just have to memorize is this black seasoning is 2 and the rest is 1. Okay?
Okay.
So this is soy sauce. 2 soy sauce. And here, you do the mixing part. And this is the oyster sauce 2.
So all 2 tablespoons for the soy sauce.
For the black ones, yeah.
Okay.
And I have here sugar, 1 tablespoon of sugar. 1 tablespoon of salt. And 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Are you memorizing?
Yes. And I can always just watch your video again.
Again. And 1/2 tablespoon of minced ginger. Ginger because when we add pork, the smell of the pork. And peppers. Probably like around 1/5. And then Rochelle will mix it up.
I think it's better to just use my hands, right?
You can actually.
It's better. It actually mixes all the ingredients.
And I'll hold it.
Much better.
Oh, I forgot. My sesame oil. And you need to always use Korean sesame oil.
Yes. Okay, I've learned that lesson. Always use Korean
Sesame
premium
oil.
sesame oil.
Not the other. I'm not being racist, actually. So we have 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. When you add sesame oil, it gives this extra layer of this very nice smell. Then mix it up. So now we've done our stuffing for the mandu. We're gonna be doing also the 2 variants, the kimchi.
Okay.
So these are around 2 cups of kimchi that my friend have cut it very well. Now you can half it and put it here.
All right.
And I'll just mix it up, okay? But if you don't want to make the meat variant, you just want like a vegetarian version, you can just actually omit the pork and do the same seasoning.
But with just kimchi.
Yes. There we go. So now we've got our meat variant, the pork variant, and also our kimchi variant. We're now gonna get off the dough that you made, and we're gonna start rolling and wrapping them up to make our mandu. Okay, so now we've got here the dough that we've made. As you've seen, when you put it out from the ref, it's very smooth. Does it look smooth?
Yeah.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get like a ball of like konte. Actually, your children can help. They'll have fun.
Yeah.
Then we'll put some flour on your chopping board. And roll your dough. And then cut them off like small bits. Or you know what you can do? Sometimes what I do at home, I just make like one big, yeah. See, the monster-in-law. So now we've come up with our dough. She has the very big one and I have the very tiny one. Get whatever stuffing you need, but don't make it like too much, okay?
Put it in the middle?
Yeah, around 2 tablespoons or more, probably more for you. Put it on the middle and then put the water on the half of the side of your mandu. It's not really perfect yet, but it will get better.
In the middle once.
Yeah. Ripple and then another one there on the side. One direction is a lot better, yeah, and then another one and another one. This is not really perfect yet, but so now we've come up with our mandu. It's very hard to do it by just by ourselves, so we're gonna call a friend to help us.
Call for backup.
Call for a backup. Gigi. So now we have here our first batch of our mandus that my lovely friends were making. We're gonna be steaming it. I have here a pot of water and our steamer. So I put here enough water to cover it up. And because if sometimes we put the mandus straight to the steamer, it didikit, right? So what we do is we use either cabbage or pechay leaves. And we're gonna be steaming it for around 8 to 10 minutes. It has to be really fully cooked because there's pork inside. And cover it up for 8 to 10 minutes. Wow.
Now I'm really hungry.
See, you know, when you have the pechay, it doesn't stick. Ta-da! So here is our mandu! Yay!
Time to eat!
Time to eat!
Really good. No. Super good.
Very good, right? Very good.
Kimchi.
It's actually better when you make it together with family and friends. So, worth the labor.
I guess.
Worth everything. It's really good. You guys have to try it.
Yeah.
So good. It's really good. So everybody please give this recipe a try. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to deliciousLee.